continue serving the public in the office of constable. We will make no distinction between policemen involved in criminal activities and civilians involved in criminal activities when we go after them. We're going to be very relentless, and we're going to be very confrontational in dealing with criminal elements, especially the armed criminal gangs that are threatening security at community level and actually escalating that security challenge to the national level.
In 2009, the JCF also launched 1-800-CORRUPT, an anti-corruption toll-free line. In addition to going after bad apples within the force, the police increased their presence in communities across the country in 2009. There was a 10% increase in operational activities, more raids, mobile patrols, foot patrols, joint patrols with the JDF, spot checks and roadblocks. The police conducted more than 1.5 million vehicle searches and issued over 600,000 traffic tickets. As for guns and bullets, the police seized more than 600 firearms and 8,400 assorted rounds of ammunition. To lend support to their efforts, the ministry provided additional resources. Closed-circuit TV was installed in a number of areas identified by the police as key trouble spots. 140 new vehicles were bought to boost mobility. $1.4 million was set aside to buy radios and accessories for the police as well as soldiers. Another $990,000 was committed to upgrade the JCF's fingerprint ID system. A video identification system was introduced to make ID parades more effective and fair. New computer software was acquired to allow the police to create facial sketches of suspects based on witness descriptions, and $70 million was spent to build a new police station in Bath St. Thomas. There were also important investments in the men and women of the force in the area of training. To improve its members' forensic capabilities, the JCF sent 2 policemen on training. At the end of their course, they became forensic investigators, the first in the Caribbean to get the nod of approval from the US-based International Crime Scene Investigators Association. The force also started a program to retrain and recertify police officers in the use of firearms. Policemen and women were also given refresher courses in driving and vehicle maintenance. Members of the JCF were also taught communication skills and ethics in law enforcement. There was even an important partnership with the government of Italy to provide a seminar on organized crime. In 2009, the Ministry of National Security and the Jamaica Constabulary Force continued to push forward their crime prevention program.
We are facing challenges that will require sacrifices and national unity as we chart our course in an increasingly difficult environment. In order to survive and maintain economic and social stability in Jamaica, we will have to manage crime and violence effectively.
The minister, Senator Dwight Nelson, launched a series of national consultations on crime, community meetings where people get information and share their own ideas on how to prevent crime in their neighborhoods.
For too long we have sat in our offices and made prescriptions and imposed prescriptions on you, the members of the communities, in order to solve the problems. But those prescriptions must, of necessity, include recognition of the concerns that you, the citizens, have.
Under the Citizen Security and Justice Program, 89 people from inner-city neighborhoods in Kingston benefited from a parenting program. There were also opportunity fairs to empower residents in some communities. Then there was the work of the Peace Management Initiative, which helped hundreds of children from 11 Montego Bay communities with back-to-school supplies in September. Also in 2009, a renewal of neighborhood watch groups across the country. The objective? To to re-engage the youth and reclaim communities. In the meantime, the National Security Ministry continued to see some success in its Safe School program. The Violence Prevention Alliance also targeted school children in its Peace for Prosperity campaign launched in February. As part of the broader crime prevention drive, there were efforts last year to reduce the number of repeat offenders. The ministry launched the Jamaica Reducing Reoffending Action Plan, or JRAP, to help offenders who have already served time to stay out of trouble. The plan also helped deportees to find their place in society. Under JRAP, former inmates could also get help through the Howard Hostel, a facility set up at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in Kingston. Besides those programs targeting ex-convicts, there were efforts to improve the rehabilitation program for those still serving time. The 2009 Inmate Work Program was launched in March with a 2-day cleanup exercise in Portmore, St. Catherine. The program was also expanded last year to include both men and women. In October, the Correctional Services Department announced that it had begun to look at ways to provide more income-earning opportunities for inmates. The idea is to help them provide for their families that in many cases are falling apart. A unit was established back in July to deal specifically with the children of inmates. That and other initiatives caught the attention of Prime Minister Bruce Golding, who congratulated the department for its service.
We have some people who are providing a service that is so critical in this society, is to be able to even hold together and to stay on the rails. And therefore, even as we identify those of you who have served for 10 and 20 and 30 years this evening, I think that the real purpose of this evening is to honor all of you for the tremendous service that you give, service that goes without gratitude, service that goes so often unappreciated, unrecognized, and unheralded. And if it is just for one evening, let us salute you for the service that you're giving and for the contribution you're making to your country.
With the 2009 year in review, I'm Stacey Ann Smith for GIS News.
Well, the year 2009 was a challenging year, not only for the world, the government, but in particular for the Ministry of Labour. I think it is fair to say we have been able to have a rather stable society in terms of disputes at the workplace.
Only on Jamaica Magazine.
And this is where we'll have to close the pages of this edition of Jamaica Magazine. Check us out tomorrow for another exciting program. And remember, this and other programs can be viewed online at www.jis.gov.jm. While you're at it, give us your feedback at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Alison Watson. Have a great evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.